All right, family. Shalom, Cleophas Brown, Brenda Hill, and anybody else that comes in the room still. Jersey Dooney. All right. Luke 21:24. Let's go to it without further ado. Let's get it cracking. All right, now. This is before the Messiah was crucified. Oh yeah, is it Easter? Oh yeah. From Friday to early Sunday morning is not 3 days and 3 nights. It's not Easter, it's Passover. Pesach. That's for you colonizers. Okay? Think about it. How did the rabbit and the egg crowbar is not in the Bible? Where did it come from? Who gave it to you? Watering down the message. But all right, let's keep going. This is the Messiah. Look, it's right here. He's talking about the scattering of our people worldwide. Now, remember, we chose Barabbas over the Messiah. Okay? Remember, we said his blood be on us and our children. See what that Bible verse said. I'll Google it later. Let's go to Luke 21:24. All right. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. It's written in the Bible. The Bible is talking about the real Israelites being scattered worldwide, all throughout the Bible. Worldwide. Okay? There's not enough of the colonizers to be scattered worldwide. I'm just getting straight facts. It ain't enough for you. And if you was in Egypt the first time, around the Hamites, the Egyptians, Genesis 10 tells you the Egyptians, the black folk, you wouldn't be worried about no genetic annihilation because you done been through it before. If the Hebrews were white people. Okay? And if the Hebrews were white people, how did Moses grow up right under Pharaoh's nose? How come he couldn't look at Moses and say, didn't I tell y'all put them Hebrew boys in the river? Feed them to the crocodile? Huh? But nevertheless, let's get back on track here. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. There is not another group of people that have suffered more than us. Not another group of people suffered longer than us, more than us. Millions upon millions died. Y'all just don't put it in the books. It's got to be a bunch of you. Let me keep going. And this is the Israelites, the Messiah's kinsfolk. Okay. Shall fall by the edge of the sword and led captive into all nations. Number one, the Most High gave a promise to Abraham that his descendants was going to be as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sands on the seashore. Look right here. This is what when you got numbers like that. The Most High can punish you, kill millions of you off at the same time, and scatter you worldwide simultaneously. You can't do that with no other group of people. You being genocided simultaneously while you're being scattered worldwide. If it ain't us, who is it? Because history only points to us. Not only that, but the people, the original people in Haiti and all throughout them islands down there, y'all killed them off. Or did y'all think that that the Haitians, we the same people? The Haitians just always lived there. Huh? How did we get there? Where all these new names come from? We got new names with old blood. New names, old blood. Your bloodline is older than those names. See, when you're trying to cover up a crime and cover for lies, you got to come up with creative ways. Now, pen leaking on me. Be all right. It ain't my first rodeo. But nevertheless, they shall fall by the edge of the sword, number one, simultaneously be led captive into all nations. Don't forget about the Arabic Muslim slave trade going to the east. Don't forget about that one. All nations. See, yeah, most people familiar with the West. Don't forget about the Arabs, the Muslims. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentile be fulfilled. Now look, so anybody in Jerusalem right now is a Gentile. I'm going to show it to you. Right? All right, well, let me show it to you then. Let me prove it. I'm slow roasting. Now, if the Israelites is at home, then what they doing with a New World Order pyramid over there in the land? Huh? If God that brought his people home, why you got a New World Order pyramid over there in the Supreme Court? Why the Israelites got a judicial system just like the Romans? If the Israelites are back home. Huh? Just look it up. Why they court system look like the Romans? I keep telling y'all these are the same people. Now, if they wasn't the same people, then how all of a sudden the so-called Israelites getting along with the Romans and the Christians and the Muslims? Look at that. That's over there. You got an Israelite Supreme Court. We was taught to be peaceable with the sojourners. We was taught to be fair with the sojourners because we were sojourned in the land of Egypt until they started oppressing us. But even after that, the Most High told us not to mistreat the sojourner. That's why you need to start reading your Bible. Okay? Now, if the Israelites are back home, then why you got European churches over there? Like I said, like the Bible said, Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times be fulfilled. That's what it said. Okay? Y'all want a preview of what it would look like when they time fulfilled? Look at Revelation where the gates named after the 12 tribes of Israel. The gates named after the 12 tribes of Israel. Every tribe. What are the other 11 tribes then? Jew is a derivative of Judah. Where the other tribes at? Huh? You got a minority, a minute, a small group of people. What are the other 12 tribes at? The Most High promised Abraham his descendants, his seeds were going to be numerous. What are the other 11 tribes at? Huh? Let's get back to the business. Now, this is amazing, and it is masterful of the Most High how the Romans was oppressing his people when he was here the first time, and guess what? The Romans is still oppressing his people in the end. Ain't that a beautiful masterpiece? Ain't it wonderful? Magnifico. He didn't get you the first time. He just let you get big. He let the wickedness grow. Revelation, they go harvest. They go harvest the fruit of the wickedness in the book of Revelation. He tell the angel to stick it, press in his sickle. Let me see here. It ain't being specific. Let's go to Revelation. I know it's in Revelation 14:18. Y'all see it right there? The harvest of the earth. Evil gonna get to a certain spot where the Most High, where it's gonna reach a point of no return. That's what's gonna happen. Wickedness on the earth is gonna reach a critical mass. It's gonna reach a point of no return, and that's when all hell, quote unquote, really gonna break loose. All right, let's read the NIV. I really don't like the NIV version, but hey, I'll read it. Still another angel who had charge over of the fire came from the altar and calling a loud voice to him that had the sharp sickle. Take your sharp sickle and gather the clusters of grapes from the earth vine, because its grapes are ripe. Let's go to the New Living Translation. Then another angel who had power to destroy with fire came from the altar. He shouted to the angel with the sharp sickle, swing your sickle now to gather the clusters of grapes from the vines of the earth, for they are ripe for judgment. I like that one better. Judgment. There's a group of people that seem like they ain't getting their judgment like everybody else is. There's a group of people. I ain't got to name them. All I can say is what the facts. There's a group of people that went all over the earth, stealing, killing, lying, and destroying. Seem like everything working in their favor. Well, right now it looks like it's crumbling down. But at some point it had to come down. But all right, now let's get back to the business. Now, you got these churches still over there in Nazareth. Let me see here. Let me see. Now look at here. Now, how you gonna be the oppressors of the Messiah people? Shalom, Syndicate and Brenda Hill. How you gonna be the oppressors of the Messiah's people, and you gonna have a church over there in his land? Luke 21:24. Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until their time is fulfilled. The Most High. Here's your eviction notice. I'm giving y'all the eviction notice. Okay? Y'all time is about up. It's skin 30. Sooner or later, it's going to be skin 45. But all right now. Now you got another church, the Greek Orthodox Church. The Greeks. You know the Greeks was hanging out babies in the book of Maccabees. Where is the Greek captivity in your Bible? Daniel wrote about the Greek captivity. You know, the Bronze Age. But it's not in your Bible. The rest of them is in the Bible. Where is the Greek captivity at? See, that's why the Messiah sent the Spirit of truth. You can add to, take from, but the Spirit of truth is a lie detector. Now, let's see here. It was established over what Catholic tradition holds to be the site of the house of the Virgin Mary. They done made another God right here. They made a whole other God. And then leprous God, okay? But anyway, Jerusalem is trodden down. It said Nazareth, but yeah. But this stuff is still over there. If the original people is at home, All this stuff is coming down, family. If you got thrown out your house and you had to go for a while, there wasn't nothing you can do. Somebody else moved in your house and they started decorating your house how they saw fit. Because they different, they different than you. Okay, but when you come back home, you tossing all that stuff out. Everything must go. All that stuff got to go. Catholicism got to go. The Muslim mosque got to go. The fake Jews stuff got to go. That stuff got to go. And again, I'm going right back to this Bible verse. Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. They at home. Listen. They at home. But you got the doggone Catholics over there. You got the darn Muslims over there. You got the Palestinians over there. And you got the doggone the Catholics and Edomites pretty much the same. The so-called fake Jews. They was ruling right there. They were right there when the Messiah walked the land. You had them. That's why Herod sought to kill the Messiah. He was an Edomite sitting on the throne. He was not the rightful heir. That's why the Messiah went into the black land. Kemet, the land of the blacks. Joseph went into Kemet, the land of the blacks, to hide amongst the black folk. He didn't go to Europe. He didn't go to the Caucasus Mountains. He didn't go to the Alps to hide. There was a genocide during Moses' time to kill the male children. It was a genocide during the Messiah time to kill the male children. And it's still a genocide. You got COINTELPRO. Well, J. Edgar Hoover said, there will never be another black Messiah unless we create him. Let me pull that quote up. Why is he worried about a black Messiah if black folks ain't nothing? Huh? Huh? There you go, right there. And they said he had some black ancestry, but nevertheless, there will never be another black Messiah unless we create him. That's why I be telling y'all, these so-called black organizations with white funded money and white leadership, NAACP, they got their first black president in 1970 something? Supposed to be for black people, the NAACP. Supposed to be for black people. But they got their first black president in 1970 something. Come on, family. Control opposition. I'm going to give you an illusion that you got some help so you don't do what I don't want you to do. There's only so far you're going to go. Why? Because I'm leading you. Control opposition. When dealing with the devil, don't deal. But nevertheless, let me get back. Let me see. Let's get back over here. Like I said, you got these Gentile churches over there. You got this. They got this Gentile Supreme Court system. This wasn't what we were dealing with. See, this wasn't what we were dealing. Read the Bible. Why would the Israelites? Shalom, Jim, Jersey Dooney. Why would the Israelites want a government made in the image of their oppressors? Huh? Why would the Israelites want a government made in the image of their oppressors? You do know Ordo Noro Seclorum is Latin. New World Order. Let me pull it up for you. Ordo, yeah. Let me pull it up for you. You do know that's Latin, right? So so the Jew the Jews don't see the Romans as anti-Semitic for oppressing them in the Bible. Way back in the days. Let me see here. Let me be more specific. Here we go. I don't know what that is. Let me see here. Let me see, can I zoom it in? Okay, there you go. What would the ancient Israelite, I said ancient, why would they want Caesar's money? Why would they want Caesar's pyramid? Huh? On their Supreme Court building. Let me give you some more images. Why would they want Caesar's pyramid on their Supreme Court building? But I see, I guess they don't see them as anti-Semitic. Let me see here. There you go. Huh? Yeah, come on, family. All right. Let me see here. Let me keep going. Here go another one. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre, also known as the Church of the Resurrection, is a 4th century church in the Christian quarter of the old city of Jerusalem. And again, Luke 21:24. Yeah, Arlene Foster, yeah. From what I've understood, J. Edgar Hoover, he had black folks, he was just white passing. But see, the Negro hated himself. See, that's why I teach. That's why I talk like I do, unapologetic, because I used to hate myself. You see what I'm saying? That ain't nothing to play with. If I hate myself, I don't care nothing about you and nobody else. If I hate myself, what I look like caring about you? Matter of fact, let's just do this. Let's just do this. Fair use. Fair use. Uh-oh.
Quale bambola è bianca?
Let's get some English up in here.
Quale bambola è nera? Quale delle due è bella?
Questa.
You see that? She looked like a mulatto. See that? J. Edgar Hoover right there. Let's get some English. What that tells you, that white supremacy is worldwide. We know this. Why? Remember them Kenyans when IUIC was reading out the Bible, showing them that the Messiah was black. Remember them Kenyans? How they reacted? That's that self-hate. Let's get some English up in here. Hold on. I know this one is English. No offense to the Italians, unless you hate us. If you hate us, then you can kick rocks. Hey, but yeah, let me see here. Let me see what I got going on. They got to get their money in. Let's get them
of Black history in the U.S., the concept was simple. Have a child choose between a white doll and a black doll. But the ramifications of the results rippled throughout history and continue to be felt even today. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Candace McCowan.
It was a psychological study that shaped a generation. Doctors Kenneth and Mamie Clark's doll test.
The children basically rejected the black dolls and really said that the white doll was the good doll. The black doll was the bad doll.
It showed what was believed to be the impact of segregation on children, leading to a change in the way that every American student is educated.
black-white doll study was instrumental to the Brown versus Board of Education desegregation decision.
The Clarks wanting to take what they learned from the study and make a difference, leading them to open the Northside Center for Child Development more than 75 years ago.
The goal at that time was to enhance the psychological development of children, their self-esteem, and to help children be able to be all that they can be, to reach their full potential.
With their holistic approach, the center now reaching thousands of children every year. Through therapy, after school, early childhood, and Head Start programming, and the doll test shaping their mission to this day.
We reinforce self-esteem.
Adrienne Williams-Myers was hired by Mamie Clark decades ago. She says their approach reaches beyond the walls of the center.
The home environment is very welcoming. It allows also the staff to see what is actually the dynamic of.
Brenda, you must be about my age. When I was a child, I didn't see no black dolls either. That's why they don't teach. That's why they don't teach what we done. Think about it. They want your esteem to be low. Think about it. That decreases your faith. We are commanded to have faith. We don't have no choice but to have faith. We ain't got no. Hey, they got all the military might. They got all the money. They got all the, they control. They running stuff. But yet we still here. They've been trying to genocide us for the longest.
The family.
Still, after the original doll test was repeated recently,
Because she's white.
showing their important work is still needed. Here at
That tells
Northside,
you a
they're
whole lot.
focused on finishing what
Children know the difference between black and white. Who's doing the teaching though? It can't be us, because the black children think that they evil and they think the white children is good. That's why, look, that's why when you see a school shooter, they always come up with some darn excuse. Oh, he had a bad past. I had a bad past. Can I get that? Can I get that same sympathy? No, we're going to give you 16 years, Negro, and we're going to give you about $10,000 worth of fines, Negro. We ain't going to give you ain't going to be able to get no housing when you get out, Negro. Then you're going to be looking at child support, Negro. So yeah, now you see why I got faith. How did I beat them odds? I didn't beat them odds. I just lived according to the Most High, to the best of my ability, and windows of blessings start opening up. Straight out of prison, nowhere to live, no money, $10,000 fine, got to pay the PO, got child support, got to eat, got to live, ain't got no transportation, ain't got no job, got suspended license, but yet y'all couldn't get me. I'm off papers now, so it ain't no getting me. If I go, I'm gonna go cause I got to go. I ain't worried about going to jail and my life in danger. Try to take some of you devils and meet your daddy.
was started so many years ago.
We have to be
But
vocal.
anyway, the doll test, all the black children is learning that they evil, and all the white children just do Google the doll test, all the white children is good. That's what they learning. How is little children learning this CIA media apparatus called the television, called the movie, called the music? And you got these white supremacist teachers. Yeah, that's why most of your teachers is white. Who is mostly the teachers in the school? That's right. And don't forget, they had that teaching, they had their children at lynchings of us. We be hanging up in a tree, and they got their kids right there. Remember the video I did showing the teachers holding up a noose? These are teachers. How do you have a school to prison pipeline that only affects black folk? Let me keep going. All right, now, I just covered that. Now let's cover this. Now this right here, How you got a mosque over there, and the ancient Israelites are back home? Huh? Huh? Somebody's lying. Well, all these preachers prophet lying, talking about the Jews are back home. Where they at? Huh? See, that's why they put up the Bible cemetery schools. Where in the Bible did it say you had to go to a college to learn how to preach the message? Did Moses go to college? Did Abraham go to college? Huh? Did Isaiah go to college? Huh? Paul went to school. Okay? Paul went to school. But where in the Bible, in order for you to be a preacher, you got to go to their school? Where is that at? They are the potter, and your mind is the clay. And they shaping your mind to go the white Jesus way. They is pouring bleach in your brain. They pouring bleach in your brain. They pouring so much bleach in these preachers' brain that they said that the Messiah died on Friday and got up early Sunday morning when the Bible said he was going to be there 3 days and 3 nights. Let me show it to you in the Bible. Okay? Let's see here. All right. Let me show you the Messiah said it. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. How many hours is in a day? How many hours is in 3 days? 72. So Friday evening to Sunday morning is only a day and a half. So y'all went to school and didn't learn how to count. While I'm thinking about it, and I think that it's the day so-called Passover. Actually, the Brews celebrated Passover last week, so y'all a week short. So yeah, but they celebrating Easter. So okay, I wasn't even intending on going on this. Now that's another thing. Why, if everybody going to the same, if everybody serving the same God, I say God because everybody serving the same Creator. Then why you got a black church and a white church? Think, family. You serving the same Creator, but you got a black church and a white church. The white church seem to have all the money. Talk to me. Can somebody answer that for me? Let me see here. Let me see here. I'm trying to find that. Here it is. I found it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Right here. It's gonna show you. It's gonna show you 3 days and 3 nights. Remember, if y'all remember reading your Bible, they said that Sabbath was a high Sabbath. Trying to get the image. Okay, here it is. All right, now. Yeah, y'all can see that. 3 days and 3 nights. Look at here. High day Sabbath and a weekly Sabbath. You see that? Wednesday evening. Thursday evening, day number 1. Friday evening, day number 2. Saturday evening. There go your 3 days right now. 3 nights. You said what? Night, and night. Just like Genesis. Let me show you in the Bible. Let me go back to the Bible. In the beginning, let's go to Genesis. And the evening and the morning was the first day. The Most High said that, not me. Why he chose the evening and the morning, I don't know. But he created everything. If he want to say the evening start the day, doggone it, then that's what it is. Okay? And God saw the light that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And Yah called the light day and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning was the first day. Evening. Now let's get back to this picture up here. And the evening, morning, first day, day number 1. Evening, morning, day number 2. Early Sunday morning, 3 days and 3 nights. Because he got up. He rose. 3 days and 3 nights. There you go. Notice he was crucified in the evening. Evening. Good evening. Not a good Friday. Good evening. All right, let me get back over here. I guess you could say, hey. But all right, let me see here. And I got to point this out. They got one of the highest cancer rates over there. Now, just look at it like this: polar bears, they habitats. Polar bears habitats is in a cool climate. Grizzlies and black bears, pretty much, everywhere else except jungles. And they got their own habitat. Is what I'm getting at. Black folk habitat is where the heat at. Okay? Let's stop playing games. I really don't, now, if y'all was in Egypt, the Israelites was white, how come y'all ain't figured out how to survive in the sun yet? Why y'all got to spray all them chemicals up in the air? Huh? Y'all was in Egypt and y'all survived, and y'all ain't figured it out yet. Let me move on. It's getting back to this Black Messiah stuff. So I close some of these tabs. Yeah. Pharaoh was worried about him. Pharaoh was worried about a Messiah. That's why he was trying to get the Hebrew boys killed, thrown in the Nile River. You do know they got a crocodile god. Let me show you another parallel. That's right. The Most High made it like that. The Most High made them like that so we can know. So anybody with a critical mind, anybody with a love for the truth can see the obvious. You understand? The emperor have no clothes. Now, they got a crocodile god in the Nile. Feed the Israelites to our God. Now, and don't forget, what they did to our babies down here in the South. Crocodile and gators in the same family. Crocodiles and gators are in the same family. That ain't really what I was trying to get to. Let me go back. Let me see, can I find a quick video? Let me be more graphic. These lazy, wicked devils, boy. They done buried it down, but yeah. It's a well-known fact that they used to hunt gators with our babies. Well known. Let me see what the news says. Here we go. Depicting African American children as alligator bait was a common. No, it wasn't no common trope. It was a practice. They catch the mother or the father off working somewhere off in the field. They steal the baby and go hunt alligators because they got tired of getting their arms cut off trying to get that gator hide. It was a trope, but yeah. Let me get back. I see I'm getting in my tirade. Yeah, they was doing it. And then they had gator bait, the Florida Gators. Yeah. But let me get back on track here. Let me see here. How long I've been going? 46. Let's try to wrap it on up. Let me close some of these tabs. And again, if the Israelites was at home, remember Luke 21:24. His people going to be fall by the edge of the sword, be led captive into all nations. That's the Arab slave war and the European slave war scattered us worldwide. Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentile. You got Gentile churches over there. You got Palestinians over there. You got Muslim mosque over there. You got Catholics over there. So how is the people back at home? And you still got war over there. The Bible said when the real people get home, it ain't going to be no more war. That's what the Bible say. All right, now. I just show this. You got stuff. Let me do this. I was in Memphis yesterday. Boy, my people. Boy, Memphis is pretty bad. I was in Memphis yesterday. You got the pyramid. You got Memphis over there in Egypt. And you got a Memphis here. All right. The Mississippi River done flooded over there. I ain't never seen that river that high. I seen it low. But yeah, Mississippi River pretty darn high. Okay, yeah, Deuteronomy 28. Let's go Deuteronomy 28. 68. Look here. Let's go to 64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people. Yeah, there it is again. Who been scattered among all people? Who? It wasn't. It ain't them. They took themselves to lands. You know the conquerors that the Bible was talking about. This beast that's treading down the earth and breaking it in pieces. This beast, this fourth beast, this Roman Empire. They took themselves to the land. They wasn't scattered. You don't get to go. They wouldn't just say you don't get to scatter yourself. Okay. The Most High shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth to the other. Just because you don't see us in Thailand, don't mean we ain't there. They just don't put black folk on camera. That's what they do. Well, just like here, when they put us on camera, they want us doing some ratchet stuff. some stereotypical stuff. Stuff you won't see them put necessarily on camera. But nevertheless, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father. Our fathers didn't know nothing about no white Jesus. Our forefathers didn't know nothing about no Islam. He didn't know nothing about no Catholic and no Roman cemetery schools and stuff. Wood and stone. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease. Hey, black folk, I don't care where you at, black folk. Did you finding any ease? Hey, let me know if you finding some ease in this earth. Deuteronomy 28:65. The Most High said when he get through scattering, if you ain't gonna find no ease, let me know if it's easy. Let me know if you can hit that easy button. But I tell you one thing, this stuff make you strong. I tell you that. Huh? If you want a diamond, you got to put pressure on it. Huh? If you want pure gold, you got to put some fire and some heat on it. Huh? Let me know if y'all got any ease up in here. See, the Most High going somewhere with us. He putting pressure and heat on us. You can't take the heat. You know what, get out the kitchen. But nevertheless, we're going to have to make it through this. All right? There shall be, neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart. That's why I refuse to be trembling. Doggone it, if you're gonna kill me, doggone, let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking. I'm not gonna sit back and not do the work of the Most High because I'm scared. And failing of eyes and sorrow of mind, boy, I know all about that. These Europeans starting to find about that. They starting to get a whiff of what the Most High cooking. They starting to get a smell of what the Most High cooking. They starting to have a trembling heart right now. Failing eyes, they can't see the future. They see that money train drying up, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and have none assurance of thy life. Now, if you're walking in the Most High, this don't apply. It's also in the Bible. You start living right, this stuff don't apply to you. If you live, that don't mean you won't die. But you ain't gonna be worried. You ain't gonna be worried about that. But if you living right, there's verses in the book that say he gonna take these curses and put it on my enemies. But if you're living wrong, it's on, okay? And have none assurance of thy life. In the morning, thou shalt say, would God it was evening. Boy, hey, just like you at work. How many times you been at work like, man, I'm ready to go? Can you imagine being on them plantations, them sugar cane, them cotton fields, all this hard manual labor? You working from sun up to sundown, from can't see to can't see. When you go out to work, you can't see. And when you go back in, you can't see. Huh? Look, in the morning thou shalt say, I would to God it was evening, because you can go get some sleep. And at the evening thou wilt say, would to God it was morning. They killing you at night. They coming in raping your old lady. Coming in raping you, the men. That's these heathens. Ain't getting you know what? Somebody be dead. Hey, but anyway. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eye which thou shalt see. Look here. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt is bondage. I got it somewhere in my notes. Got it somewhere. Let me see, can I find it? Let me close this. Let me try this. Now that's gonna mess up something. Hold on. All right. Let me just pull up another Bible verse. Okay. Exodus 20 and 20. 20 and 2. I am Yahweh thy God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. So when you see Egypt, you got to put the slavery in there with it. You got to the slavery comes with it. See, he brought you out of Egypt. You wasn't on no vacation. You got to put the slavery in there with it. You see what I'm saying? Exodus 20 and 2. Now, let's get back over here. Deuteronomy 28, 68. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again, into slavery with ships, scattered worldwide, going into slavery with ships. By the way thereof I spake it unto thee, thou shalt see it. This is the last captivity, family. You either go come out as pure gold, or you're going to roast in the lake with the snake. And there ye shall be sold for your enemies, for bondmen and bondmen, and nobody shall redeem you. Let me show you this. Deuteronomy 28, 68. Let's go over here. You read. That's why you got to read the book of Leviticus. Buy means to redeem. If you went into slavery, your kinsmen could redeem you. They tell you stay out. That them Bible cemetery demons tell you to stay out of that Old Testament. But think about it. Would you buy any book at all, and skip the front and go to the back? That's right. Go for the gold. Any book at all, would you gonna be lost. You ain't gonna know what's going on. You pick up a book and just ignore the front half of it and start in the back. You ain't gonna know the plot. You ain't gonna know what's going on. You ain't gonna have a clear understanding of who is talking about. But yet, when it comes to the Bible, you just go over here to the New Testament. Y'all see the mind game. All right, now. Look here, redeeming his people. Ain't nobody redeeming us. That's the Messiah. The Messiah is the kinsman redeemer. See that? Buy means to redeem. He bought us with his blood on the cross. He redeemed. That's the spiritual redemption. It's going to be a physical redemption. See that? You understand what buy means when it comes to the cross. So don't act like you don't know what buy means when it's talking about redeeming us right here. Read the book of Leviticus. Just like I didn't have no money and I can't take care of my family, and I went into slavery. Somebody in my family could pay my bills. Even our own people bought our family's freedom. That's a microcosm. That's a microcosm level. That wasn't the whole nation. See, well, he said nobody gonna buy you. Yeah, that's just a few here and there. Not a whole nation. We scattered worldwide. There's millions, if not billions, of us. See the difference. There were slaves buying their freedom. They was redeeming themselves, but not as a whole nation. Moses is talking to the whole nation of Israel right after we come out of Egypt. What's going to happen? All right, now. Let me close some of these tabs. Let's see. Okay. Now, this is Genesis 15 and 13. All right. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, before he was named Abraham. And lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said to Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. The Israelites was not afflicted in Egypt 400 years. Joseph lived to be 110. Number two, wasn't but 70 or 75 Israelites went into Egypt. It wasn't enough for them to build anything. Exodus, Pharaoh said they are numerous. Let me read it. How about that? Let me just read it. Exodus chapter, I think it's Exodus 1. We'll just read it. We'll just do it like that. Okay. It's given a 12 tribe. Okay. Now, if the people of Israel is back home, where is Reuben, Simeon, Levi? They claim they Judah. Issachar, and the Bible clearly says several times that Judah is going to be the main one scattered worldwide. Name a time in history when they were scattered worldwide since they Judah. How did they come from all over the earth and they just come out of Europe and went to Israel? But nevertheless, let me keep going. Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Where is these other 11 tribes at since the Jews is back at home? And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already. Then but 70 go into Egypt. So 70 went into Egypt. I'm showing it to you. All right, hold on. Let me see. I think I remember it now. It was Genesis 15. Genesis 15 and 13. All right. Now listen to me now. Abraham was having a dream. He fell in a deep sleep. And he said unto him, Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years of oppression. 400 years of oppression. And right now I'm giving you the tally that then but 70 of them go into Israel. Joseph died when he was 110 years old. So they had to have time to multiply. Hands down, this ain't it. Oh, y'all can't see that. They had to have time to multiply. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiply and wax exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose a new king over Egypt. So the Pharaoh had to die. All those around the Pharaoh probably died. I said probably. But they didn't know Joseph, which knew not Joseph. So Joseph lived 110. So that right there by itself, only 70 went in there. This tells you that this is not talking about this captivity right here. Okay? Abraham knew Egypt. Abraham went into Egypt himself. So this is talking about another land. Your seed shall be in a stranger in a land that is not there. That's how he got Hagar. Hagar was an Egyptian servant of his. So Abraham knew all about Egypt. But this is somewhere else. All right? And they shall and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. We've been afflicted and serving these heathens, and the meter is running. The meter is running. Over 400 years. 400 years. You said, ain't no more slavery. Yeah, this is what they do. They got a school to prison pipeline. You got all these black folks being exonerated. In other words, they're being cleared of crimes they never committed. That's your slavery right there. They created, what was that, the 14th Amendment? If we could put some charges on them, we can get our slaves back. And then we could build these, we could have them build a rep. The slavery's still here. Genocide, that's affliction. Police shooting, that's affliction. White supremacist hate group that the feds don't dismantle, the government don't make laws against. The white preachers, the black preachers don't preach against, that's affliction. Home sanctioned terrorism aimed at destroying the descendants of Abraham. Affliction. Since we've been here. All right, now, and look, this is a Pharaoh, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal wisely with them. Let's give them a congressional black caucus that create laws and policy for everybody but black folks. Let's give them an NAACP organization, but it's controlled by white people. Let's give them a black entertainment television, a BET, that's controlled by white folk. Let's give them a white Jesus that's created by white people. Let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when they're fallen out of any war, they join also our enemies and fight against us, and so them get up out. They didn't want them to leave. They didn't want us to leave. Build a wealth. We are a wealth building people. Having us around builds wealth. You don't believe me, huh? Let's go to the book of Romans. Now, you're talking about the Israelite. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for. Hold on. Okay. Let's just start at verse 1. Now I say then, have God cast away his people? We got a spiritual Israel. It don't matter who the Israelites are. God forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. So the Most High ain't done away with his people. Yah has not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What ye not? What the scripture says to Elijah, how he maketh intercession to Yah against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. What they gonna do when we leave, Brenda? They gonna die. If they don't repent, I mean, I ain't trying to be smart, but I know what the Bible said. If they don't repent and they don't turn from their wicked ways, they are going to die. They gonna suffer. That's what's gonna happen. That's what the book say. But you know that. They're gonna turn on that's right, they're gonna turn on each other. But what said the answer of Yah unto them? I have reserved myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Okay, hold on, let me. All right. Let me start at 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election that have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, God have given them the spirit of slumber. Now, what do they say? What they worried about black folk waking up? Hey, they worried about black folks waking up. Romans chapter 11, verse 8. The Most High gave us a spirit of slumber. Why is they worried about black folks waking up? Eyes that they should not see and ears that they should not hear. You can't see if you don't study that Bible, if you ain't sincere with the Most High, you ain't gonna be able to see the truth. You ain't gonna be able to hear the truth. Why? Because you playing games. You ain't playing the Most High. You're playing yourself. And ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David said, let their table be made snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back. Bow down their back always. What? Hey, what do the slave master do when you buy that back? Now, he hit you with that whip, don't it? Huh? You got your back bowed down, putting in some hard labor, ain't you? When that back bowed down, it ain't. You putting in some hard labor, huh? But nevertheless, I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation has come to the Gentile for to provoke them to jealousy. That's why you see us. That's why you see us with passion getting back to the commandments in the Bible. We tired of this affliction and oppression and the lies. We tired of it. All right. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, that's the point. Our fall is the riches of the world. Pharaoh didn't want us to leave because having us around, they were doing good. You see that? Having us as slaves, look at the wealth. Look at the wealth that kickstarted the world as it is today. Our fall was the riches of the European power. This Roman beast, because of our fall. If the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them, us, be the riches of the Gentile, how is it that the so-called churches is sending billions of dollars to Israel? They getting rich. Gentiles getting rich. Huh? Boy, I tell you, can't nobody create masterpieces like the master. How much more of that fullness? I just want y'all to see that. That's why they didn't want us to let us go. They didn't want us to get up out the land. If I hate you, I don't want you to around. I want you to get gone. I don't want to keep you around. I'm not going to play games with you to keep you hanging around. If I don't like you, I want you out of my sight. Having the Hebrews around, they was doing good. You think America want us gone? If we leave, just watch what happens. But anyway. All right. But I wanted y'all to see that. Our fall is the riches of the world. Think about it. Look at it. How is it that in this country, the United States, they take our tax dollars out of our pockets and give to immigrants all over the earth to come here? They are literally taking money from us and giving it to everybody else of the world. Sending aid everywhere. Hey, can't nobody create a masterpiece like the master. And I'm talking about the master. Boy, I tell you. Let me close on the tab. I about done ended it. I done about said all I had to say. But then if you do some more research, it'll clearly tell you that the Hebrews were not in bondage for 400 solid years. Okay? If you study, yeah, if you do your own research, it'll tell you. It'll tell you. But yeah, I'm just looking through my stuff. See how long I've been going by the hour. Yeah, it's about time to wrap this up. Oh yeah. Let me hit this. I got to hit this. I got to get on this. Let me slow roast. Let me slow roast this thing. Now, why you got this Wailing Wall? Huh? This Wailing Wall. Huh? That wall, let me show you a Bible verse. This Wailing Wall. This ain't part of the old temple. The Wailing Wall and evidence for the real site of the temple in Jerusalem. The Wailing Wall, as a Jewish holy place, is a modern invention. See, we know this because it ain't in the Bible. We know it's a modern invention because the Wailing Wall ain't nowhere in the Bible. We know it's a modern invention. All right? that was selected for Jewish worship by one of the greatest mystics of the Kabbalistic age. That's probably why you got that New World Order pyramid on the Israeli Supreme Court. Kabbalah. But anyway, his name was Isaac Luria, who in many geographical mistakes selected the Western Wall as a holy place for the Jews to assemble a mere 430 years ago. In actual fact, the Jewish people today at the Wailing Wall are not praying to a wall of their former temple. Nowhere in the Bible did the Most High tell us to pray to a wall. The walls come down when the Most High is around. Ain't nowhere in the Bible. All right, and I'm going to give you a Bible verse that's going to tell you what happened to the temple. Ain't nothing wrong. Reading is fundamental. All right? Or if you're too busy to read, I listen while I'm driving. Try to keep my mind meditating on the word while I'm driving. Keep them devils up out of there. Every now and then the devil try to crowbar something up in your head. You keep that word going on. Yeah. Yeah, all the time. In my sleep. Keep that word going on. Yeah. All right. They're not praying to the wall of their former temple. They are actually praying toward the western wall of Fort Antonia. All right. The shrine in the other side of the Wailing Wall in the time of Jesus was not the temple built by Herod, but it was a Roman temple. So now you got Roman Edomite so-called Jews with a Roman-style Supreme Court giving the green light for their people to pray to a Roman wall. While the Roman historically oppressed the Israelites. Make it make sense. Y'all see? Is y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Huh? See, when you wake up out of your slumber and you open them eyes and you lift that back up, this stuff, you look around and you say, what's going on here? But let me see here. All right, let me see. I'm looking for this Bible verse. Okay. Right here. Now, Matthew chapter 24. And Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left one stone upon the other that shall not be thrown down. In other words, the Romans completely destroyed the temple. You can verify this in history. The Romans pulled up every rock that was on that temple. They tore the whole temple down. It's right there in Matthew, and I think it's in Mark. Right there. Let me see here. It's somewhere else. Not one stone. Mark 13:2. All right, let's go to Mark. See thou these great buildings? All these great buildings, the disciples admiring the buildings. There shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. That's why you got a wall there that they talking about as the temple. Now, if the people in the land knew their temple was destroyed completely, why would they okay for the people to pray to a Roman fort? You still got Roman Edomites there today, working together, trotting down the land. Luke 21:24. And you don't forget this. Don't forget this. Yep, running the ad blocker. Sure is. But look right here. Right there in Jerusalem. Look, right there in Jerusalem. But the Israelites supposed to be home. But you got this right there in Jerusalem. In Luke 21:24, the Messiah said Jerusalem was going to be trampled down by Gentiles. It's PBS. This should be all right. Huh? What these preachers at? I mean, let me go back to the Bible. Let me bring it back home to you. Let me get the focus in. Let me get the stuff off your eye. Let me help you wake up. Sometimes when you wake up, you're a little groggy, you know what I'm saying? It take you a minute to gather your thoughts. You understand what I'm saying? Let me bring it back to the Bible. Let's get back to the Bible, and we're gonna get up out of here. Boy, I love the Most High. Boy, the Most High is awesome. Luke chapter 21:24. And he's talking about the Israelites, shall fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. You burning the candle on both ends. You're getting genocided and you're being scattered worldwide. The Arab slave trade to the east and the European, the Western nations scattering us to the west. We went into slavery everywhere. And Jerusalem shall be trampled and trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are finished. All right, family. Hallelujah. If we ain't got long, we ain't got long. Y'all straighten them backs up. Brush up on your righteousness. Take that spiritual bath every day. Not every day, every day. You take a physical bath every day. Take your spiritual bath every day. Smell around and see if you smell anything going down. All right? You better open your eyes up. It's getting real close. All right, family. Shalom.
Thus says the Lord of hosts, consider and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for skillful wailing women, that they may come. Let them make haste and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run with tears, and our eyelids gush with water. For a voice of wailing is heard from Zion. How we are plundered! We are greatly ashamed, because we have forsaken the land, because we have been cast out of our dwellings. Yet hear the word of the Lord, O women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth. Teach your daughters wailing, and everyone her neighbor a lamentation. For death has come through our windows, has entered our palaces, to kill off the children, no longer to be outside, and the young men no longer on the streets.
It's now. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now.
Praying mothers, it ain't nothing like them praying mothers. God be listening to them praying mothers. Man, I'm glad I got a praying mother.
Yeah, a mother's love runs deep, it's never known to stop. All them nights that she couldn't sleep cause you was out on the block. Big pressure to face, cause losing her child would be a waste. Scared to watch the news cause she nervous that she might see your face. Not innocent no more, what he do she ain't trying to know. Streets captured him early, she lost him a long time ago. Yet every night, knees to the flow, nothing severed the love. Asking God to keep you safe from danger wherever you was. It's rare when she see you hanging with the wildest people. Even family members be telling her that her child is evil. She won't ever give up on him, though every day is a downer. Yeah, you might got something bad to say, just don't say it around her.
Praying mothers, it ain't nothing like them praying mothers. God be listening to them praying mothers. I'm so thankful. Man, I'm glad I got a praying mother. I'm so glad. Praying mothers. She prayed for me. It ain't nothing like them praying mothers. Mama pray for me. God be listening to them praying mothers. I'm so thankful. Man, I'm glad I had a praying mother. I never would have.
Praying every day and hour, so it don't pay to doubt her. Think about all the situations you shouldn't have made it out of. Matters the issue, she be riding to the fullest with you. You had moments where you can't explain how them bullets missed you. And every second you was in the world thieving and reckless. She never stopped believing that you was being protected. From time to time on a porch she would see a detective. As long as she knew that you was breathing, she could accept it. You moving ratchet, what you doing could prove to be tragic. Got her entertaining the thought of her choosing the casket. Refusing to break from the madness, but promised you would. Yet every time she try to talk, you like, mama, I'm good.
Praying mothers. It ain't nothing like them praying mothers. God be listening to them praying mothers. Man, I'm glad I got a praying mother. I'm so glad. Praying mothers. She prayed for me. It ain't nothing like them praying mothers. Mama pray for me. God be listening to them praying mothers. I'm so thankful. Man, I'm glad I had a praying mother. I never would have made it.
Running wild, you been out of control for too long. Mama confused, asking God what did she do wrong. But still love you when everyone else's hope is gone. Cause she praying to a power that's stronger than that dope you own. Some of your partners didn't make it, they laying and stretched. Others ain't never leaving prison, they saying you next. You never call a visit, got your T-lady depressed. To that woman who gave you life, you ain't paying respect. Missing the happy times with you, reflecting on pictures. And every morning when she wake up, she texting you scriptures. Waiting for you to straighten up is a true test of patience. How some of us manage to make it, just one explanation.
Praying mothers. It ain't nothing like them praying mothers. God be listening to them praying mothers. Man, I'm glad I got a praying mother. I'm so glad. Praying mothers. She prayed for me. It ain't nothing like them praying mothers. Mama pray for me. God be listening